Okay, there's a major psychological operation going on in the Pacific with the weather control, and they are recreating the polar vortex every 3 days, and this is to convince the new Congress that there's an ice age coming, that the world is really cooling, and this is a very, very genocidal weather control psychological operation. This is the polar vortex, the Jetstream notch from November 1st and 2nd, and it's being held there in place by the Baja Haarp transmitter. They heat the ionosphere several miles up, and it causes descending air, and this dry air is the obstruction in the jet stream. We step ahead. Okay, we see it's being actually held stationary 30 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours. They held it in place 48 hours, and that causes the jet stream to fold up like a train wreck. And this air is probably about 180 mile an hour wind right here. So it's going to fold up into Canada and drag that cold, blustery weather back down. Now here, 60 hours, 66 hours, this is very cold weather going down into the central U.S. And they've reformed the next one. So 108 hours and 126 hours they've done it again. Because of the Haarp transmitter, they're able to create a blockage in the jet stream here, which forces the jet stream to fold up into Canada. Now here's the satellite maps that show the detail of how they're doing it. Here is November 3rd, 100 Zulu. So this is sunset. This is sunset over the Pacific. And we can see this dry air. This is water vapor mode, so black means dry air. This air is being pressed down by the Haarp transmitter, this little island right here. And what that's doing is it's causing this clockwise fold, which is high pressure. But we can see a lot of clouds here trying to bubble up to make a low pressure. So let's see what they do with that. Sorry, unzoom. Okay, so this is a couple hours later. Now we can actually see some of these storm clouds, whatever, water vapor, entering this dry zone and drying up. So that's proof that this is an area of dry air, this cloud right here. As it rotates into this area of dry air, it evaporates. Now here is, unzoom, this is midnight or 1 a.m. November 3rd. Zulu's confusing, sorry. But anyway, to prevent a low pressure from forming here when the sun rises because of all this water vapor, they want to continue this clockwise turn, which is high pressure. So to avoid a low pressure building here, they put aerosols down. Let me zoom back in. And we can see these aerosols being laid here. And this is the middle of the night, so probably this chemtrail mix is to absorb all this water vapor up here. And this is actual proof that this whole thing is an integrated setup to create the polar vortex every 3 days. Okay? By chemtrailing right here, they're confirming that this is one big operation, a psychological operation against the American people to drag that cold Canadian air down into the central U.S. Okay, here's November 3rd, mid-afternoon. Now what we see is the place where they sprayed the aerosol last night is now completely dried up, and there's a few more aerosols going in right here. If we zoom in, we can see that. A few more aerosols being sprayed right here, where this possibility of thunderstorm development exists. Let me just put a little color on that. So aerosols, aerosol, aerosol. Again, they're chasing that. When they spray the aerosols, it creates the hot air layer aloft and prevents any storm formation, the capping inversion. So let's go back and see what they're planning for this. So the reason that they are doing this is that it's going to be impossible for the Congress, the new Congress, to vote for anything having to do with lowering the carbon emissions in the U.S. when all the political hype is saying, oh, there's an ice age coming. And we can see it better on this map here. I'll just step through. Okay, so 30 hours, 42 hours, 54 hours. Look at this. It's going clear up into the Yukon, dragging that cold air down, spilling it into the central U.S. in 60 hours. That is just a really intense, cold, stormy burst of air. And again, they form it right again. 40, 50 hours later. 2 days later, it's back. And this is a psychological operation. The rest of the globe is heating catastrophically. But they want these Congress critters, a new crop of congressmen, to believe, oh, we need to burn more oil, we need to do more drilling, lower coal subsidies, etc. This is extreme evil. And what we do about it is, first we need to know that it's happening, and second, it needs to be stopped. And again, it probably does have to do with weather options, big time. Chicago Mercantile heating degree day options. So, contact your city manager, see what kind of options your city has purchased, because it's your city's payment of these protection premiums that is driving this program. So you can see how the operators of these HAARP transmitters, they cash in on the futures options, and they're able to help the fossil fuel companies convince everybody that we have an ice age. We have an ice age coming, when in fact it's the exact opposite. The Earth is heating at an unbelievable pace, unbelievable heating, except for right here where that cold air is being deliberately inserted. Okay, I hope that's clear to everybody. And if you're in the eastern half of the U.S., you need to watch this closely. Okay, thanks.